Hello and welcome to your High Vibe Daily for Sunday, February 28th. Happy Sunday. All right, so as you guys know, this is a collective message. This is my contribution to you guys whenever I feel, called by spirit to come on and give y'all some sort of message for the day. So being that this is a collective message, you want to take what's for you and leave what is not, okay? So the way that I usually structure these readings is I'll talk about the astrology of the day for just a minute. We'll touch on those topics and then we get into the tarot spread. And then we get a couple of action cards at the end so that we can really kind of conceive what we need to do moving forward throughout our day in order to, catch those positive vibrations. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that I noticed for the astrology was that the moon is going to be moving into Libra around 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I'm so excited about. If you watched the live from yesterday, or if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, High Vibe, then you saw that there was a Virgo full moon on yesterday. That energy does continue usually for 2 or 3 days after the full moon. So we are still sort of in that same energy, in the energy of those themes that we discussed yesterday. However, the moon will be moving into its next sign, which is Libra, which gives us a little bit of a different energy to sort of pull from and work with. What does the moon being in Libra mean? Okay, so Libra is a sign of partnership. It's a sign of harmony. It's a sign of anytime you have two different entities coming together to sort of unify, merge, collaborate, cooperate with each other. It's just the merging of two parties. More so like two one-on-one parties as opposed to two groups. Libra also rules relationships because of that. Partnerships, friendships, as well as business, okay? Libra is ruled by Venus, which gives it this energy of like this very Venusian, luxurious, beautiful, artistic energy. Okay, so Venus actually rules two signs. Y'all know it's always a lesson when you come mess with me, but Venus rules over Taurus as well as Libra. Let's talk about Taurus just for a little bit. So the Taurian side is where you get like Taurus love to be comfortable. They love to eat. They love money. You know what I'm saying? They want to be comfortable and want the pleasures in life. That side of Venus is dedicated to Taurus, while the other side of Venus, which is more of the beauty, luxury, artsy side, is dedicated to Libra. So it's time for us to tap into our more artistic side, okay? It's time for you to get creative for the next 2 or 3 days. The moon usually stays in one sign for about 2 to 3 days. So that's why I keep saying that. Let me see what else I have. Libra is also a cardinal energy. That means that when we're in this energy, right? When we have Libra to work with, we can really get things started. That's something that people do not talk about too often when we hear about Libra. You hear about Libras being pushovers and flaky and all these like little things that people want to say about the personality of the Libra, but we are talking about the sign of Libra, okay? And so when we're in this sign, it truly is a gift because they have this sort of, I was going to say domestic, that's not the word, diplomatic way about them that allows them to come in and harmonize situations. And so they usually people with heavy Libra usually make really good politicians. The Libra energy is really good for negotiation and getting things going, right? You want to talk about a business plan, pitch an idea, develop a business plan. All these types of things are going to be highlighted during the moon in Libra. Last thing I want to leave you with as far as the moon goes is with that cardinal energy as well as that artistic energy, we have the ability to really express ourselves and make things happen from that expression. So if you've been having any sort of lingering thoughts or ideas that you just feel have been suppressed and you're ready to kind of like get things started, sometimes it just takes a conversation with somebody. Sometimes it just takes actually getting the ideas out of your mind and onto some paper, okay? And then showing people that, publishing it. That's another very Libran thing is text, any types of books, articles, social media. All these things are sort of very Libran in the fact that they connect us to others. And so even though everybody might not understand where you're coming from, if you just put your idea out there, the universe will deliver that call. It will answer you. Somebody will pick up on that energy and want to respond. Even as far as like artists, I'm even seeing like painters and things like that. Like if you've been working on some things, the next couple days will be a good day to start showing your progress, showing your work. just putting little snippets out there of the things that you've been doing. Even musicians, songwriting is another very Libran thing, where we're communicating with people, right? We're expressing ourselves and putting it out there and hoping that somebody will connect with that. All right, y'all. So that's all I got for the astrology. Actually, I'm lying. I'm going to say something else about the astrology after I'm done with the tarot cards. But let's get into this tarot spread. I'm really excited because the first card that we have is the Page of Wands. The Page of Swords in reverse. Pages are immature energies that come through to sort of show us where I was just listening to a reading. He put it so perfectly. Basically, it's saying like it's this adolescent energy where we feel like we know everything, but we know nothing. And we need to sort of pull it back a little bit in order to, or not even pull it back, but experience some things in order to really be able to put stuff in perspective. And if this card were upright, it would signify like gossip, kind of two-facedness, because as you can see, he's got the checkered floor. He's holding his sword. So he's going to take whatever communication, because swords do rule over communication, thought process. He's going to take whatever words his mind could kind of come up with and use them against people. It might be because the sword always indicates truth. However, y'all know somebody that's always gossiping. And even though the stuff that they're saying might be true, it's kind of like everything doesn't necessarily need to be said, in order to really make change happen in the world the right way. You need to know when to be quiet sometimes. And so it's good that this card came out in reverse. So it's going to be about watching your mouth today, okay? Making sure that what you're contributing is going to add to the situation and not take from it. If you're having a little bit of a battle with yourself about, dang, I really want to say what's on my mind or what's on my heart, but I know it's going to be problematic, it's probably best to write that shit down and come back to it in a couple days and see if it's still worth saying, okay? It's one of those types of days where we want to really be protective of our nervousness, because I think people gossip because they want to feel more secure about themselves. And so we tend to talk about other things in order to sort of prop ourselves up, talk about other people to prop ourselves up, label and judge other people to feel better about ourselves. Today is not one of those days, okay? Let me see what else I put. Yeah. So if you don't have all the facts about a situation, don't speak on it until you do, period. All right, the next card that we have is going to be the Seven of Pentacles. Love this card for us because it talks about longevity. It talks about security, real long-term security, and it's within the self. So again, if there's some feelings of insecurity within yourself, lack of confidence, and you find yourself falling into that trap of you're falling into that web of talking about other people to make yourself feel better, right now is the time to really figure out what ways am I investing in my own self-confidence? In what ways am I it's a word that I can't remember. Reaffirming, reinstating, reinforcing. That's the word. In what ways am I reinforcing my own belief of self? What daily practices do I have that are adding to my skill set? That's what this is about. Pentacles are all about practicality, understanding the tangible side of life, right? So we can go out and have all the fun and talk to all the people and have all the ideas and feel the emotions. But are you able to make those real, practical contributions to yourself in order to be the person you see yourself being 5 years from now, 10 years from now? If you don't know the answer to that, it's probably time to start taking stock of how am I spending my time? How am I spending my energy? And who do I see myself being in the next however many years? Is this method going to get me where I'm trying to go? It may be a yes. It may be a no. But what I'm telling you guys is I'm getting this energy that you need to align yourself more with yourself. If you find yourself talking about other people more than you're talking about yourself, that you're going in the wrong direction. Okay, it's going to really be about putting all those energies, every single bit of every word, every thought. It kind of needs to be about your forward progression. And I'm not saying that you can't help people along the way. This says nothing about helping people. This is all about just focusing your energy and understanding that it is our highest currency. You can have all the money in the world and lose all the money in the world and gain all the money in the world back. It's kind of like money is an illusion, right? But our time, our energy, these are the real currencies that we have to deal with. Our health even. Are you focused enough on your body? Because Pentacles is everything physical to me as a tarot reader. So are we paying enough attention to the things that we need in order to move forward? Okay. The last card that we have in the tarot spread is the Four of Pentacles reverse, which I like this card reverse as well, because let's talk about what it means upright. So upright Four of Pentacles, usually like in a traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, it has this guy and he has two pentacles on his head and one pentacle under each foot. No, it's one pentacle on his head. He's balancing. He's holding on to one, like, oh my God, like this, like cuffing that mug. And then he's got his feet on two pentacles. So it talks about being really stubborn with your finances, not spending any money, but also you don't have any open hands to receive any money as well. So it's like those people who, you know, make a deal or work a job and they hoard their money, but also they're not seeing it make any sort of exponential growth. They're not willing to take the risks that are necessary to make their money work for them. It's really like kind of, I would assume, a lot of our parents and our parents' generation sort of way of thinking about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. You know what I'm saying? We penny pinching. But what we know, you know, coming into this new consciousness awareness that we're all moving into and all have the opportunity to opt in or opt out of, what we know about that is abundance is a mind state. You know, if you think you always gonna have to save money a penny pinch, you always gonna have to save money a penny pinch. You'll never have enough. If you feel like money is always going to be a struggle, for sure, your entire life, it will always be a struggle, right? We all know people like that. But we all also know people who are way more free with their money. And it's like, dang, how do you continue to make opportunities for yourself? For some of us, those people scare us because we couldn't even fathom having that level of faith in the universe, having that level of faith in ourselves, having that level of faith in our abilities, right? To be able to have that free sort of like, think about with your kids. You know, we all had friends growing up where their parents didn't let them do anything. Them be the sneakiest ones, right? Like, and so the ones who are given a little bit more freedom, of course they mess up. They hit their heads now and then, but then they learn and they are able to move throughout the world more freely because their parents can have faith that they have the know-how. You know, they have faith in themselves, so they know when to make certain decisions. You get what I'm saying? It comes with, you know, you get things when you put a loose grip on stuff. And so it's about loosening your grip. If we're holding on too tightly to the finances, then we don't have any room in our hands, like I said, to accept anything new. And it's really about assessing that mind state, right? Again, the energy, the amount of attention and the way you're using your attention when it comes to money. I hope that makes sense. I know my brain puts stuff together sometimes. I'm like, did that sentence even make sense? But I know you guys can feel me. So, yeah, I would say definitely time to focus on self, you know, focusing on your mind state, focusing on your relationship with confidence, with finances, with your abilities. Okay. As opposed to, talking about shit that just don't matter today. Okay. That's what it is. Let's go ahead and see what the action card for today is. The card that came out says be flexible, and the number on this card is 40. So again, it is about stabilization, understanding how to create foundation. However, it's so ironic that the card says be flexible, right? So that indicates that a part of foundation is flexibility. You know, I'm a manager at my job. You would think that it's like a really super predictable, okay, guys, here's the schedule. We're going to do this week in, week out. But 99% of my job is requiring me to be flexible and find solutions. And through that, I can create a foundation for my staff, a foundation for, you know, the people that we serve, the families that we serve, and so on and so forth. And that's something that I really had to come into understanding through maturity, right? Maturity, growth. This is a super growth card. As you can see, she's standing, tending to her tree. This ain't no plant. This ain't no garden. This a whole ass tree, honey. She's been here for a while. This is long-term, how to sustain abundance, stability, security, long-term. And it requires you to, as you can see, there's all these different obstacles here. And actually, each of these things on this card represents, so it would be like fire, earth, air, and water, right? And so it's saying you need to be able to work with and throughout any obstacles that any of these sort of elemental archetypes. So whether that be emotional obstacles, practical financial obstacles, obstacles of communication. How do we communicate with people? And I also would like to say, being that this page of swords is upright, it is going to indicate that you may have conversations with folks. But let me just reinstate that those conversations need to be as constructive as possible. They need to be about what you've got going on, no one else. You need to come through and you can say, because even though it is a page, it still gives me that innocence, that immaturity, right? So you can say, I don't have all of the answers, but I'm here and I'm willing to find the solutions. What options do we have? That type of energy, right? It's like you're coming in almost humble, almost not low, but with the understanding that you don't know it all. However, you're willing to bridge those connections and do what needs to be done and flex yourself in different ways in order to get to this space where you can start putting your energy into yourself and to address the fact that, some things need to change and you might need to take advice from another. This is also an advice card, right? Pages talk about people coming to us with messages or us going to other people with messages. So yes, there could be somebody around that could really be giving you some great advice. And you may begrudge that advice because you want to continue doing things your own way. However, do you want this growth or not? That's all it's about. All right, let's get the affirmation here. So that, can y'all see that? Y'all can. So it says, my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. This man has no faith. And actually, the card came out reversed. Excuse me, let me put it in the right position. But this guy upright has zero faith. So this is going to be about us actually finding our faith. I think you guys should watch that Virgo, full moon in Virgo video I did. It's on YouTube on the High Vibe channel. You can find it my YouTube on my link tree. Link tree is in my Instagram bio. Go check it out because it talks about the dynamic between where the full moon was, which is the moon was in Virgo and the sun was in Pisces. They have this very, very special dynamic that talks about practicality versus faith. And so when we start that conversation, this card is like, it gives me, this is the Virgo card. This card reminds me of my daddy. Hi, Dad. He's a Virgo. And he's always been really, really keeping things close to the cuff. And when I'm trying to talk to him about like the progression of finances and how we can do different things, he was born in 43 and he just don't be about it. 1943, my daddy was born. He's not about that new school shit. He's like, save your money, go get a job at the shop, do what we know works and stay alive till you die, my nigga. That's what he's all about. And I'm just like, Dad, there's so many other ways to do this. There's so many other ways we could skin a cat. Let's make some investments. Let's figure out the stock market. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Get some financial security for future generations. This is not about my father. However, like I said, that video will help you sort of put things into perspective as far as, yes, we all want this security and we know that it's going to take that Virgo down to earthness, realistic nature to get us there. However, within that, you must have faith. You have to be flexible. It's not going to work out for you any other way. And you also have to learn and understand your own rhythms with this thing because long term is not just, one size fits all. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, and you're going to be asked to flex that thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a gymnast, you're going to have to just get around all the obstacles. And so, we're all looking for that level of happiness, correct? That is safe to say that might be the goal, happiness, fulfillment, right? Security. And so whatever it is that you're able to grab in the universe is always going to be a direct reflection of what you believe you're capable of grabbing. So that's where that conversation of my level of faith in the universe, right? Your happiness is a direct reflection of your level of faith. If you can't conceive it, you cannot achieve it. You can't. That's one of the things they used to put up on our posters in elementary school. And I think we all saw that stuff and was like, nah, the shit is real, right? So how can we infuse our mindset with ideas and different ways of doing things that will help us sort of like have the tools in our toolbox to, flex around these different obstacles. Okay, so that's all I've got for you guys. Actually, I lied. There's one more thing. So, but yes, let's talk about the card that came out at the bottom of the deck. So we have the Judgment card here. The Judgment talks about great transitions in life, ending certain cycles and really coming into a new chapter. as far as our destiny and what it is that we are meant to do here. And so I feel like a lot of us are accepting and taking on new levels of responsibility, every day. And so it's going to require us to really sort of, like I said before, assess what we've been doing, how we're investing in ourselves. Has it been working? What do we need to tweak? Who do we need to talk to? What areas do we need to change some things up and loosen our grip and create new routines, right? So that we can make this successful transition. And it's also a faithful transition, because as you guys know, it's always darkest before the dawn. So as you embark upon new levels of expansion in your life, things will tend to get more difficult. New levels, new devils. I'm always saying that. More money, more problems. Okay. So you got to understand that with the graduation, with the progression and the successful, like making it through chapter after chapter, there will be new levels. You're going to be asked to have more and more faith as you continue to move forward, because you will be thrusted into a reality that you know nothing about. And it's okay, because you're being supported by God and the angels. Make sure that you guys are calling on your ancestors, or, whoever it is that props you up on the other side. Okay. And so the last thing that I want to leave you guys with is, as I saw this Page of Swords, I thought about, where is Mercury in the sky? Because we know Mercury rules over communication, right? And our thought process, and, just how we create systems for ourselves. And Mercury is actually squaring Aquarius today. And so what that means is there may be some unexpected conversations coming about, or some unexpected developments in partnerships, right? And it can cause a lot of nervous tension, Mercury being square Uranus, because there's this very exciting, like, something is getting ready to transition. Some sort of change is getting ready to come in for me. And so it's going to be about really grounding yourself. As y'all know, I have anxiety, and my signs are like Gemini. I have a Gemini rising, Aquarius sun, and a Libra moon. So I'm all air signs, right? I tend to get very high vibe. That's why the name of my company is High Vibe, because I be hyper. And so even with today's energy, I found myself waking up, and my instincts just told me, get yourself together, do your grounding, get started with your routine, because I could feel myself getting nervous. And if I would not have listened and honored that, I could feel myself sort of spiraling into that more nervous, anxious state. And in that state, we can't really do very much. So make sure that you slow yourself down. If y'all notice, I'm even talking a little slower. I'm always trying to do that, but today I successfully did it. And take your time, right? Because there could also be a heavy chance of miscommunication, because people's nerves and energies are just going so quickly that the message could get lost in all of that energy. So just make sure you're slowing down and doing what you need to do. Get clarification where you need it. And you guys know, follow the messages. Okay. I love you very much. And I will see you guys on tomorrow. All right. Goodbye.